Oh, hey, neighbor. Welcome to the Fandom Omnibus podcast. My name is Chancellor D, and in this episode, I will be telling you why I am thoroughly enjoying WandaVision and why I think you, yes, you, should be watching this show on Disney Plus. Won't you tune in? If you had told me back when the MCU first started with Iron Man 1 that we would get to a point where we have a TV show that's a sitcom within a show that will greatly enhance the MCU to astronomical and magical proportions, I would have said, shut up and take my money. Because honestly, WandaVision has become one of my favorite shows, not just show, chapters of the MCU in recent years. As much as I love things such as Endgame, Infinity War, Doctor Strange, Captain America, Thor, and all these other movies and TV shows we have gotten thus far, this show honestly feels right in line with the things I love about comic books overall, no matter what parent company gives me the comics. Dealing with things about characters living in plain sight, dealing with magic, other things, including space and a larger universe as a whole. This show has done all this for me and so much more. Let's look at the first couple of episodes from WandaVision from a historical standpoint. WandaVision has done a fantastic job of honoring the sitcoms that have come before it. These sitcoms have paved the way for a lot of shows and movies that we have come to know and love. The show has referenced The Dick Van Dyke Show, I Love Lucy, Bewitched, and so many other shows that were set in the decades of the 50s, 60s, 70s going on forward. But regarding the first couple of episodes, a lot of people have said the show has felt slow, they couldn't get into it, and so many other things that I saw through numerous social media posts. And I understand that. I respect it. And when I think about that, I do see that the show geniusly added these moments that felt slow from sitcoms of years past. Because not every episode of the shows it referenced were fast. Not every episode had moments where we were rolling over laughing from beginning to end. They had their moments when they were slow, and that was fine. And I just really want to say for people who felt like this show was a slow overall and they couldn't get past it, I highly encourage them to just give it its due because it is a treat. And I think the writers are doing a great job of everything. The concept of fourth wall breaking is done well within WandaVision. Because when we are watching the episodes, especially the first three episodes, we're seeing the sitcom. And slowly through subtle means, we're seeing the real world breaking into the sitcom reality. And when it gets to a point when that reality is shattered and the sitcom world enters the real world, things become intense because we learn a lot about the characters and what's truly going on inside the bubble of the city or town known as Westview, New Jersey. And this really reminds me of movies in the past, such as Pleasantville, and so many other movies where the world of a sitcom turns to reality, or movies like Enchanted, where a Disney fantasy world comes to reality, or shows like Once Upon a Time, when your fairy tale characters come to our reality. This show fits in line well with its predecessors of the movies and shows of years past. But the unique experience of WandaVision is that we, the audience at home, in this reality, are watching the Marvel Cinematic Universe characters watch the reality of the sitcom that is actually taking place in their reality. It is done extremely well. Another unique experience this show has been commercials. The commercials are all references to Wanda's past. The first episode had a Stark toaster, which was interesting because it was the only thing that had color was a flashing red light. That is significant because we find out in the past of the MCU, Wanda's parents were killed by Stark weaponry. This is why she and her brother wanted revenge on Tony because they believed that Tony had killed their parents. The second episode was for a Strucker watch. This reference was for Baron von Strucker, who was the leader of Hydra, who was experimenting on Wanda and Pietro with the use of Loki's scepter, which housed the Mind Stone. This is what gave them their powers. In the episodes we have seen later, after the first two, that did have episodes, they provided more insight into Wanda's backstory. So here we are, 5 episodes in. By the use of using clever commercials, fantastic usage of fourth wall breaking, including characters from previous movies in the MCU, hiding a show within a show which is hiding characters in plain sight, among other things. WandaVision is a show that is doing so much so well. I'm looking forward to the final 4 episodes to see where all of our characters will end up when the show is done. Where all the characters who showed up in previous movies, where are they headed? Where are Wanda and Vision headed? Where are the residents of Westview, New Jersey headed when all this is said and done? Where is the MCU going as a whole when this is all said and done? Sure, the people who are behind the show know, the actors know, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how this all plays out. But I invite you to watch the show for yourself, to make your own conclusions, to see where the show is headed and what lies ahead for the MCU as a whole. But I want to say thank you for joining us here today on the Fandom Omnibus podcast. Please subscribe here on YouTube, click that notification bell, and we'll see you next time. My name is Chancellor D. Thank you.